feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now.
Never really thought about the impact of inflation on the elderly until...
Dog, I seen this on Twitter, and they talking about the price of a mother Mac chicken, bro.
You mean to tell me Tostino's pizzas are now $3.49 a piece? And if you don't believe that, let me show you. I swear when I was a kid, these were 10 for $10, $1 each.
I work retail, and the general sense of just disdain and burnout and fatigue that is coming off of the general public is palpable.
So there is a topic we really got to discuss. Inflation. It is ruining everybody right now, whether it's the grocery store, the gas pump, the cost of living, the cost to just breathe. I mean, if you want to do anything in this world right now, it costs money, and it costs 3 times as much as it did 10 years ago. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. There's so much to discuss here. Let's jump right in this.
Here is 2009. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. You could buy a gallon of milk for 79 cents, a gallon of gas for $1. You could buy a ribeye steak for $3.99 a pound. You can go and get a family bucket of chicken, 4 large sides, some biscuits for 12 bucks. Fast forward to 2025. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. A gallon of gas is almost 4 bucks. A gallon of milk is almost 4 bucks. That same ribeye steak is $15.99 a pound on sale. You go to KFC and you get a bucket of that demon chicken with 4 large sides and some biscuits, and you're going to spend $50. Let that sink in.
I went to a minor league game. I talked about this in my last video. Me, Samantha, and Little Jack, we spent well over $100 just to go to a little baseball game for 2 or 3 hours on a Friday night. Everything has gone up. And if you look at the buying power of the money you've saved, it's gone down. You know, I always say you can judge the economy by a handful of things. How much is stuff at McDonald's? Go buy an outlet or a light switch or anything at Lowe's. How much has that gone up? I remember when an outlet that goes in your wall costs 49 cents. Now they're almost $1. The cost of wire in your house, Romex, that's doubled. You look at the cost of housing. The average cost of a house in America, I think, is $400,000. Isn't that nuts? It takes a 6-figure salary to afford the average home in America. Let that sink in.
Inflation affecting everybody, even the homeless, the ones that don't pay no bills. Because I remember back in the day, they would wait outside the corner store and be like, yo, can I get a quarter? A quarter? Yeah, I got you. I can give you a quarter. This homeless man just asked me for $10. $10! I don't even have that!
I saw a homeless guy outside the mall the other day, and he had a Venmo sign. He just had his barcode out there, and I was just like, whoever wants to throw me some money, let's do this. We spent $14 in tips the other night, and I'm not hating on tips. I'm just throwing a scale out there. And it was for over-the-counter stuff. Order a beer, tip. Ordered a hot dog, ask for tip. And they turn this giant screen around in front of you, in front of the entire line. And it's like, how much are you going to tip? And the way they do it, 18, 20, 30%. And you've got to write in if you want less than that or if no tip. And everybody sees you do it. That one is out of control. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I want to know. It looks like an added tax to me. I mean, how much is the hot dog? Are you not paying your employees? Are you trying to push payroll tax and things like that over onto the person in line, onto the end user? Are you trying to keep your employee costs down by pushing the idea of tip onto the person that for things that you used to not tip for? You know, when you got a sandwich over the counter, you just got your sandwich. That was the price of the sandwich. But now it's the price of the sandwich plus the 30% tip that used to be 15 or 20%. And it's pushed over on you. What do y'all think about that? Comments down below. Left, right, up, down. I want to hear it. We've got to have some discourse about this because I think tip culture is out of control. One, because employers don't want to pay their employees and they push it over as in to ensure promptness. And that used to be an added thing on top of what you got paid. That cash roll in my pocket that I helped that young man out there that just brought me my lunch or my car, that he wasn't paying taxes on. It was like an added plus onto the service, not something that was mandatory. We've changed it around so far in society.
I haven't joined in on complaining about anything in the economy, but when I saw this, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. You mean to tell me Tostino's pizzas are now $3.49 a piece? And if you don't believe that, let me show you. I swear when I was a kid, these were 10 for $10, $1 each. $3.49, $3.49, $3.49, $3.49. What in the high holy of any and all hell has this world come to? $3.49 for one Tostino's pizza. My husband's only getting 2.
That's the thing about inflation. It slowly creeps up on you. It just keeps turning the pot up until all of a sudden you figure out you're cooked. Even the cheap food is expensive now. I mean, you're seeing a bag of Doritos chips, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, depending on where you are in the country. Throw some tax on top of it. You're looking at the price of what used to get you a steak. To eat healthy in America right now is astronomically expensive. It's double what it would be if you were just buying the generic stuff at Walmart. Go to Whole Foods or any of the high-end stuff. Go to a seafood market and try to buy just some nice tuna or salmon or some nice fillets, and you're going to pay through the nose for it, or just a bag of shrimp. It's way out there now, and people are just starting to realize this is what happens when you let politicians print money. I know how y'all gonna argue. I've done many videos on this. The Federal Reserve and politicians got together and printed way too much money to solve this. You know what? That happened a few years ago in all these foreign wars, and we're starting to see it in our savings accounts where our money doesn't go as far. The value of the dollar has changed, and it is affecting our lives. And then you throw credit card debt on top of it, student loans on top of it, and housing, because how do they make money? Go look at how the velocity of money works. I've talked about it many times on this channel, and you see that these mortgages we were getting at these really low rates pumped a ton of money into the system and elevated the price of all these houses. And I don't think we're going to see a reset anytime soon. If we did, it'd be the end of America, because real estate is the backbone of everything.
I never really thought about the impact of inflation on the elderly until it was time for me to help my grandparents move. And currently, like, it's been really hard to help them find an apartment, even in the worst of areas. And then I just think about, like, the impact of inflation on people that are on fixed incomes and can't work. Because while things might not be the easiest for someone like me, I have the ability to, like, DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, get a second job. I know how to option trade. Like, I can figure something out, even though it might be a little aggravating. But, like, for the elderly, it's not really a lot of that. I never really thought about the impact of inflation on the elderly until it was time for me to help my grandparents move. And currently, like, it's been really hard to help them find an apartment.
This is something I can talk about. I just had to deal with it with my father. Elder care is astronomically expensive, and it seems like nobody really cares to talk about it because they're not dealing with it. And the older generation really needs to start pressuring these politicians to fix this, because you look up, you're 75 years old, your ability to work is gone, the cost of everything's gone up, Social Security is awful, okay? And then they want to tax you on top of it. The idea of a pension now is kind of gone. Not too many people are doing that anymore. The average person cannot afford to retire. The cost of housing just keeps going up. Property tax, you know, the Florida governor decided that he wanted to talk about getting rid of property tax, and you would have thought he shot a deer, because all these politicians don't want to get rid of money. Have you ever seen a politician at the local level give money back? No. They want more money. I mean, they were just talking about a new tax for the beach to pay for some garage or something. They wanted to pay for some parking garage they wanted to put on the beach. I've never seen them actually want to give back. So property tax just keeps going up, 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 up. Okay, so you bought an item and you've got to pay the rest of your life on it to keep it, or they'll auction it off. And who does that hurt the most? The elderly. The cost of insurance on your house keeps going up. Who does that hurt? The elderly. And then if you've got to go to a nursing home, that keeps going up. It is astronomical. Medicaid, Medicare, all those, they don't want to pay for half of it. And so what happens? The nursing facilities and the hospitals wind up owning your house you spent all your life trying to pay for. It is so sad. And instead of paying for some things or getting politicians to fix it, they go start more wars. And they deflate our money, or they inflate our money, and they pay for these stupid idea fairies overseas, and we grow poorer and poorer. We got to hold these politicians accountable.
$35 for chicken. I'm sorry, what the actual what the hell kind of dystopian future are we living in?
So that's in Canada. If you're Canadian, comment down below. What is it like there? We want to know. I want to know. Their currency, from what I understand, has been inflated out of control. It is way worse than it here is in the United States. Inflation in general, the numbers, the data numbers is skewed. The federal government will tell you something and then a year and a half later revise it after the fact, especially in an election year. And you're like, oh, so it wasn't what you told us it was. But if we questioned it, you called us an idiot. Inflation has been double what they've been telling us or more over the last 3 years. I've talked about it on this channel at length, and now we're starting to see it in the cost of food. And what winds up happening, it goes on a credit card at 30-something%. So not only are you paying the 5-6% inflation on food or more, whatever it is, you're also getting it on the credit card end. And most people don't pay their credit cards off every month, and it's just a cycle of events. We've got housing insurance going up, maintenance costs going up. Everything on a house to maintain has gone up. Roofs have doubled since the cough. And now they're looking at, you're not even going to be able to use a shingle roof in the future. It's going to have to be metal or tile or whatever. And those are double what a normal roof had already doubled from. Insanity. We really got to get a hold of this stuff.
Dog, I seen this on Twitter, and they talking about the price of a mother Mac chicken, bro. A Mac chicken almost $3 for flavored colored sawdust, almost $3. And he was like, oh, this was back in 2018, this was $1. So I said, bro, I do you one, but this had to be a Gen Z or something, or cause bro, when I was in high school, that was 2007 2010, because this was a 2018 value menu. The only thing that was $1 was a sausage burrito, the Mac chicken, and a cheeseburger and a drink. Nah, buddy. Nah, player. Now, this was straight, but this wasn't what I grew up with. See, I used to eat at McDonald's faithfully in high school, especially once I got a job, had a little money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? My little $200-$300 check from Raising Cane's.
A good thermometer of society has always been McDonald's. You go and look at McDonald's, you see what the lower income is usually eating, and you can base what the economy was doing off of the McDonald's numbers. And when you see McDonald's hurting, you knew the economy was hurting, vice versa. I totally understand. The McDonald's dollar menu, I lived off of it growing up. I was right there with this guy.
Was the early dollar menu. You had your Mac chicken. Well, in Louisiana, we had hot and spices. We ain't had no Mac chickens. Then you had double cheeseburger, the fry, a salad, a soft drink. You could get 2 apple pie for $1. Cause I used to kill them. I used to get 2 double cheeseburger plain, a fry, and the drink, and the hot apple pie. Period. You get a sundae, the breakfast burrito, and a yogurt parfait. This was like the early dollar menu. They had the double cheeseburger on it. Then, see, this is when it all starts sliding down, and you be like, what the? And we should have known back then, right? Because when did they come in? Then they came out with that the Mac Double. Then they moved to this one where they gave the Mac Double, and they took the cheese out the. So they moved the double cheeseburgers to like $1.30, and then the Mac Double was $1. But okay, cool. I give you that McDonald's. But that should have been the signs that we was like failing as a country, and that these motherfuckers was getting over on us. Because why? You had a good thing, McDonald's, and then they took the dollar menu away because they said, oh, we're losing money. How are you losing money? Are you losing money, or you not making as much money as you think you want to be making? Which one? Because I know y'all wasn't losing money, but I ate at McDonald's faithfully. My $5.
The dollar. The dollar was inflated so much that you couldn't make that for that amount of money anymore. I think the McChicken is more than that right now. I think it's well over $3. It's a lot more than that for a McChicken. And it's not as much greed as the dollar has been watered down so much, paying for all these entitlement programs and huge budgets that the government has inflated into, these foreign wars, this fly that keeps coming around me. It is in pure insanity how much the dollar has been hurt. It's pure insanity how much the politicians and all these bureaucrats has hurt The dollar has hurt our ability to save money and our purchasing power. Everything has gone up, from the lettuce to the chicken to the seasoning to the buns to everything. And who does it wind up hurting? The people at the lower end of the spectrum, the lower class, the middle class, the upper class. The cost of a $3 McChicken is not even a blemish on their radar. But for us that is in the bottom class, it is everything. Like, it might mean you might not get that chicken sandwich or 3 of those chicken sandwiches for your family because they've gone up so much. Same way with the tip, same way with the cost of doing business, same way with purchasing a car. That has gone up to the amount now that I don't see how anybody really is affording a new car anymore.
$5 every day went to McDonald's in high school. How y'all losing money and y'all serving us reindeer hoofs as meat? How we losing money? Come on now. This is also around the same time where we used to go to Buffalo Wild Wings after hooping. All day we'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get a 20-piece wing with pictures of Powerade. And it was like $13 for 20 wings? Now that's $25, $30, $40. Chips was 75 cents for the medium bag.
Hold up. You could get a pitcher of Powerade? I didn't even know that was a thing. I would have done that if I would have known it was a thing.
25 cents for the little small bag. 2 for $1 for the regular size candy bars. King size candy bars was $1. The sodas was what? $1, and they used to come with the little caps that, with the little get one free or something like that. It's just like all the little creative stuff that we had back then that, got you to spend your money. Gone, bro. And I don't think it's ever gonna come back because fat ass gonna take that and pay $3 for a mac chicken.
People are still buying them. That's for sure.
I work retail, and the general sense of just disdain and burnout and fatigue that is coming off of the general public is palpable. Like, it's ridiculous because prices just keep going up. They just keep going up, and people complain about them going up, but then nothing gets done about it. And you know what? They're going to continue to go up. They're just going to keep raising the prices because they can. And I feel like this is unsustainable.
We've built this economy that everybody thinks they're entitled to everything. I mean, there used to be, I remember my grandpa talking about just getting by, like, I only need 1 jacket, 2 pairs of pants, a couple pairs of shoes. Now we got cell phones and Wi-Fi and Netflix and Disney Plus, and we got subscriptions to deliver our groceries. We got all these things to pay for, extra things to pay for that we used to not have, but we think we must have them. Just go talk to the normal young person about the things in their life they think they must have. And then I think back to my Army days when I could live out a duffel bag for a year. With a pair of boots, a pair of tennis shoes, some PT shorts, and a couple of uniforms. And then maybe a couple pairs of civilian clothes. And I could make do, and I realized, what do I actually need in life versus what most of these young people think they have to have. And then when I bought my house, everybody's like, oh, you're going to live in that old house. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's going to be my castle. I'm going to renovate. It's going to be mine. I'm going to have it paid for. And then I hear these kids thinking, I've got to have a $400,000 house. I'm like, no, I sold one to a lady the other day, $179,000, great little house on the okay side of town. She was happy. And then I told somebody about it, and they were like, she would buy that house? I'm like, what kind of standard do we have here? And granted, I understand we live in the richest country in the world, but yet, and we should have nice things, but our idea of what we should have just keeps going up. And that's the thing about when you make more money, lifestyle creep does this. And before you know it, you've spent all the money. I feel like that's where we are in America. We've overspent and overspent and overspent to the point now where we're like, wait a minute, we're broke.
I feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. Like, I feel like my life as soon as I wake up is literally just me putting down a credit card. And it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just like, what are you going to have? And I'm just like, I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just like, oh, really? Well, if you're going to be here, you're going to need to spend money. And I'm just like, what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just like, yeah, you have to buy something now. It's even getting to the point where like, I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive, you know? Like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy. And then all of a sudden, I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you got to buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're going to suffocate in your sleep. Sleep is the only place I still feel kind of safe. But even there, it's like I could have sleep problems for one night and then I wake up feeling kind of groggy and all of a sudden I'm getting targeted ads for melatonin gummies. It's like all of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just every increment of our life costs something.
The other day I had some extra time to just spend, and I was like, well, what do I do for 2 hours? Okay, I can't just go park on the side of the road on a public spot on a public road because a cop would come by and ask me what I'm doing. Can't just go park in a random parking lot because somebody will come out there and be like, wait a minute, are you shopping here? If not, you need to move on. Can't go to the gym over there because you gotta pay monthly to go over to that gym. If I go into the restaurant there, I gotta spend $4 or $5 for a drink to just sit there. The waitress is gonna want me to order something because I'm taking up a seat that somebody could be tipping her. Can't do that. Everything you go to a coffee shop. I went to a coffee shop the other day and it was just a little, bookstore coffee shop. And I was like, I need to go to the restroom before I ordered. And I didn't really think about it. And I was like, hey, I want to, is your restroom right here? She goes, no, that's only for patrons. And I was like in a sports jacket, nice clothes. And I was like, yeah, I was going to order a coffee. She's like, it's only for paying customers. And I was like, I didn't know I looked like a vagrant or something. I just wanted to go to the bathroom before I got my coffee. So I didn't have to take my coffee into the bathroom. And it was like, everybody's so on guard right now that you're not going to pay for something or you're not going to, it's expensive to breathe. It truly is. Everything costs money. Or you sit at home, and since I work at home now, I have to run my AC more and my power more and everything just to sit at home more. It's wild. What do y'all think about this? Comments down below. It's good conversation here. I mean, I cut my finger the other day, and it's pretty gnarly. I've been getting ads for doctor's offices and all kinds of different medications, and I'm like, it's expensive just to think. Or if you think about stuff, you wind up going on Amazon and ordering stuff. I remember I used to put Jack to sleep, and like I'd have to sit there on my phone a little while, and I wound up spending thousands of dollars on Amazon, like just ordering stuff because I was bored sitting there in the chair. So like, it's crazy out there in this world. But that's all I got, everybody. Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you happen to be looking for a real estate agent on the Gulf Coast of Florida, Alabama, my email's down below. I'm happy to help you. And if you're looking for a real estate agent anywhere in the country, I'd be happy to help you with that too. I can find you one. I'll see you guys on the next video. And this fire is driving me nuts.